Lady Justice from Bangkok, fresh from Ronnie rally. So the man went to the rally, and the people asking what he said. He ain't just talk, he bring the whole folder. Listen to me, he bring the receipts. The man stand up, he start from the start. How the NCF complain and break the people heart. The river write a letter, your judgment is poor. They try to shut you up, they try to lock the door, but the man just smile. He say, watch this my friend. He open up the folder and show them the trend. Ronnie bring the receipts, the folder don't lie. Ronnie bring the receipts, the folder don't lie. The river said for 4 months, but that is a lie. The folder don't lie. It open the eye. He showed them a letter from November 20, a big long warning with threats aplenty. But he got your moment. The real contradiction is a letter 3 days later. A pure fiction, a special award for work above and beyond, from the same manager who had the warning button. Ronnie bring the receipts, yeah, yeah, yeah. Folder don't lie, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ronnie bring the receipts, folder don't lie, folder don't lie. The river said for 4 months, but that is a lie. The folder don't lie, open the eyes. The river tell the papers, it ain't about this song, but the folder prove that they was wrong. They ban it, they block it, they give him a bad appraisal, then they fire the man. Oh, what a betrayal. He read every word, he showed the whole plan. The folder prove this song was the reason, man. Ronnie bring the receipts, the folder don't lie. Ronnie bring the receipts, folder don't lie, folder don't lie. The river said for 4 months, but that is a lie. The folder don't lie, they open the eye. The folder don't lie, the folder don't lie. Ronnie bring the receipts, the folder don't lie. He open the eyes, the folder don't lie. Lady Justice, me bag pack for Port of Spain. The CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice waiting. Yo, yeah! Hold tight, Ronnie, hold tight. Hold tight, hold tight. Hold tight, hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight, hold tight. Hold tight.
God and the sea first.
Hold tight.
Hear the latest in the saga with Ronnie and the river. Well, hold your seat because the water just get muddy. And then it get clear. And like it get muddy again. Listen to this. The brass at the river, they make a big statement. Try to explain the whole arrangement. Say it's not the song about the culture big wig. Say his other things make the trouble big. Not his stage show, but his workflow. Next thing the statement disappear like a UFO. It gone into thin air. Oh, this thing take a tack.
Take a strange tack.
This thing take a tack.
Not like brass tack.
The river stop running.
Falling.
The dam get blocked.
Oh.
We can't find nothing left, we in a shock. This thing take a tack.
Take a strange tack. Not like brass tack.
The people want run it back. The people want run it back. But hold on, wait. What happened later? This statement gone. Call the alligator. It's not at the post office, not a stamp airmail. It gone from the net, you can't find the trail. It vanished from the screen like a dopey parasol. Somebody gets a fright, somebody gets a call. 1 minute it was there, the next it just gone. Somebody like they frightened cause it gone. Oh, this thing take a tack.
Take a strange tack,
This thing take a tack.
not like brass tack.
The river stop running, the dam get blocked. We can't find nothing left, we in a shock. This thing take a tack.
Take a strange tack, not like brass tack.
The people want run it back. The people want run it back. It must be the steel donkey on the march. They hear the people ready for the march. The legal eagles swooping and change the tack. They grab the letter before a court ruling. The voice gets silenced, running and fooling. It not stopping what the people want to say. Like bosses cornered, back to the wall. We go and see who going to stand or fall. Oh, this thing take a tack.
Take a strange tack,
This thing take a tack.
not like brass tack.
The river stop running. The dam get blocked. We can't find nothing left, we in a shock. This thing take a tack.
Take a strange tack, not like brass tack.
The people want run it back. The people want run it back. So the bus stand full. People getting ready to join the march and hold the line steady. They ready to sing the chorus with Ronnie. They say he never muddy up the water, so we go see what we will see. In this land of democracy, yes, this thing take a strange tack.
It not like brass tack,
That ain't no brass tack.
it take a strange tack.
Lord help Cephas. Want the truth, I want the facts.
Good evening, Barbados. Good evening, the world. You are watching the Marcia Week show, and you just heard the national anthem of Barbados. I'm holding in my hand the national flag of Barbados. Happy Independence, Barbados! Listen, it's a rainy night, but we are, we gonna enjoy ourselves regardless. We're gonna have a good time regardless. I know people are messaging me and on their data to tell me that their electricity is off. Places are flooding. There's a lot of flooding, folks. People, we have lots of pictures coming in that we're going to show you a little later in the program of in the north. So the north is getting a lot of flooding. St. Lucie and St. Peter in particular. If I'm missing out any parish, if you're having flooding, please let me know. Send it to me 236 7,000. Very easy. 236 7,000. Tonight we have an amazing show lined up for you, and we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into it in 3 minutes. Miss Maxine McLean, the former Senator Maxine McLean, and former Minister of Foreign Affairs. She's going to join us at 7:15, and she's going to talk about transportation as a public good and looking at privatization of the transportation board and asking the very important question, is this a good idea? And later on, we're going to definitely be talking about the march yesterday. I stand with Ronnie march later in the program. And I want to just say to everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me just take a half a minute to go through Judy Jilts, Monica, Jefferson Sobers, Teroni Hall, Roland Archer, Marva Hunt, Andrea Critchlow, Iretha. You are the energy. You are the backbone. Lori, Bob, Mildred, Ben. And let me tell you, when I come out and I see you all, I get this boost of energy and a sense of purpose. Listen, I'm ready. Every time I come out and I see you all and get a chance to hug everybody. Listen, CG, those plaques. Oh, girl, you are awesome. You weren't there, but the placards were amazing. Cami, thank you guys, everybody, for the donation. We even had somebody in from the UK. From the UK was there. Thank you all. Sunny, thanks for everything. Marva, listen, we're such a team. And that's the thing about this thing. You touch one of us, you touch all of us. And that's what this march was about. You understand? All of them that said we're only marching against me, Mottley. We've had so many marches about crime in this country. You remember all of those marches that we have been doing? We had a whole march for Jonathan Chase. So yesterday people came there. They thought it was going to be against me and Mottley. Is the issue against me and Mottley? If she was the one, although we don't know yet, was she behind there pulling a string? But yesterday was really about what happened with Mr. Clark, Starcom, and everybody and the nation. And not the nation, the National Cultural Foundation. I'm sorry. And we came out to defend Ronnie, to stand with Ronnie, and that's what it was about. And that's what we do, guys. We go for the underdog. That's why we talk about the nurses, Shirley and Sony and Teroni and Alwyn, and everybody. I saw you yesterday, Alwyn, in your white, looking really nice. And thank you, Alwyn. You are priceless. What you do on the show, we really appreciate you. And folks, let me tell you something. Matthew B., you did an awesome job in promoting the event yesterday. We are a strong team. You hear me? And that's why they could do what they want, Sweet Pea. I saw you. That's what I saw you, Sweet Pea. And I saw nurses that we've been advocating for. They came up and gave me a hug. And let me tell you, that gives me that push, right? That gives me a push and keeps me going, keeps me wanting to keep going. And so I just want to welcome you all to the Marcia Week show tonight. Every single one of you, you are on this program. You're part of this. Couldn't happen without you. We paid all of our bills. All the bills have been paid thanks to Bell Staging and also to the plant store, which I'm going to get the right name. I keep mixing up the name, but I'm going to get that before the show is up, just to say a proper thank you to them. All right. But at this time, we have with us the former Senator Maxine McLean, one of the original panelists on the show. And she didn't get to present last week. She had some challenges with her microphone. And then we were dealing with some issues that we thought that, it would not be the right thing. It could be seen in a different light. And we are people of integrity. And so both her and I, we said it wouldn't be a good idea for you to come on the show while we're dealing with those issues. So if you see her leave tonight, it's the same reason. Okay. Right. But I am so happy to have her tonight. And she's a big mentor of mine, not big in size, but a big mentor of mine. And it's a joy to have her on the program tonight. Good night, Miss
Hi.
McLean.
Can you hear me? Good
Yes,
evening.
I'm with you.
You see, I think last week the people did to me what the title of your show. Your show was about being muzzled, and somebody put on a muzzle.
I must tell you. They do it all the time.
But here I am, and I'm happy to be here with you because there is so much happening. And what we've agreed to talk about tonight is the issue of the transport board.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose a topic. I said transportation as a public good in Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
Privatization of the transport board, is that a good idea? And essentially, this has been an issue for many years about, whether the transport board should be run by government. I am old enough to know when they had private companies and then they were acquired by the government, and I saw the introduction of ZR vans and minibuses and all of that. And for many years, what we have had is a mix of publicly owned transportation, mass transportation, and private entrepreneurs, business people participating. Recently, the public would have been privy to a document that was circulating. I think it was a letter addressed to the General Secretary of Barbados Workers Union. Here it is, divestment of the Barbados Transport Board. And I think I'll just very quickly read parts of that. It was written to the General Secretary, dated November 7th, which would have been just over a week ago. And it says, the government of Barbados has been reviewing the operation of the public transportation sector with a view to making it more efficient and to further economically enfranchise persons within the country who wish to participate in this sphere of economic activity. It is also part of the process of restructuring the Barbados economy. And in this regard, there is no doubt that a modern and efficient public transport system will provide positive benefits that will redound to the enhancement of the economic landscape. And it went on to talk about a number of things. The reform is predicated on the basis of divestment of the Transport Board and the proposed establishment of the Barbados Mass Transit Authority to be the regulatory entity for the sector. With regard to the Transport Board, the Cabinet has agreed that it be divested on the basis of the following proposals: that all of the workers at the Transport Board be severed and that discussions be held with the unions on the subject of separation packages. 2, opportunities be created for those workers who wish to be economically enfranchised by becoming an owner-operator of the buses and or providing cleaning, bus washing, and security services. And it went on and on. Now, Marcia and audience, I would say that some of that sounds good, huh? But there are a couple of things that we have to start. First of all, we have to understand or ask ourselves, what has been the philosophy guiding the provision of public transport in Barbados? and across many places in the world. And what should perhaps be that philosophy? And if you think about it, public transportation, especially on a small island like this, we have an extensive road network and so on. That transportation has enabled any Barbadian, and working class Barbadians, lower income earners in particular, to get to work, to ensure that children are able to get to school, and that generally there is the provision of reasonable, adequate. We've had challenges across administrations, but anybody who has lived in Barbados, and I use post-independence because that is 1966 is the year that I started taking a bus to school. Before that, I used to walk from home to St. Stephen's School. And so at the end of any analysis of the issue of transportation, one can conclude that transportation is a public good. In other words, public transportation as provided and supported by governments, in fact, subsidized by government, if efficiently done, really contributes to the economic development, the social well-being of a country. And, you know, Barbadians like to look elsewhere for sources. I don't necessarily have to do this, but I thought I would share the first slide that I have here, talks about public transportation as a driving force behind economic development. And it really is from an article, and I've cited the title of it and the source, you know, and the reference for it, the impact of public transit on the workforce and local economies in the United States. And what this says, it goes on to say, the excerpt that I have, public transportation systems play a pivotal role in society that extends beyond just moving people from point A to point B. They provide essential mobility options to members of the community, along with having a direct impact on energy consumption, air quality, and carbon emissions. I'm going to pause there and connect that to Barbados in terms of the relationship between that and public transportation. I have seen across Barbados a significant increase, and I don't think it's a figment of my imagination, a significant increase in the number of vehicles on the road. And there are concerns with that because a vehicle is not cheap in Barbados. Fuel is not cheap. We have concerns about the level of emissions of carbon monoxide, I think that's the correct title, on, you know, the carbon emissions, as it is referred to here, on people. We have a high level of respiratory issues. I myself suffer from something called allergic rhinitis, you know, and smoke and certain kinds of situations aggravate my respiratory tract. And people suffer from asthma. Go to the hospital any day and check out the asthma bay. The number of children, including babies, for example, who have crises and have to go there. So when we talk about transportation, we're not only talking about the economic benefits. And how do you link these economic and health and environmental benefits? We talk about energy consumption. We in Barbados import significant amounts of fuel, and anytime oil prices rise, we know what happens to gasoline prices, etc. So the point I'm making is that where we can have a reliable, efficient public transportation system, Barbadians would have to be less concerned about acquiring their own private vehicles. So in essence, it becomes more optional than absolutely necessary, if you see what I mean. So at the end of the day, when we look at it, what I was, those illustrations saying is that public transportation enhances economic development by providing access to various societal locations such as employment, education, healthcare, entertainment, cultural institutions. We talk tourism in there. I saw somebody in a comment referring to the popularity of ZRs among visitors. And so essential amenities are positively or negatively impacted by the availability, the quality, reliability, etc. of our public transport system. As we know, in Barbados, our transport system is operated primarily by government. Government has, over the years, successive governments have subsidized it. Now, I have heard people talk about profitability, etc. And if we think in terms of privatizing, as suggested in the letter and the extracts that I read from that letter, what we would see is that if government stops subsidizing, there's almost an automatic expectation, or not even an expectation, but an automatic consequence that we will see higher fares. People are already concerned about the significant increase in bus fares in the last 5 to 6 years. And so when you now say government is going to get out of the business altogether, and if they are getting out of the business, it is highly unlikely. In fact, it would make no sense to get out of the business of providing, and this person makes an important point, providing subsidized public transportation, which, and I would read from the comment, is necessary for national productivity by workers, school children, and the general social movement of citizens. That is really why government sees it as a public good. The benefits go beyond an individual who has to catch the bus. The benefits go to employers. If tomorrow or at the end of the year or whenever this thing should happen, government says, okay, we are not subsidizing, because to subsidize private operators would be to do what they could have done in the old arrangement. The expense for bus fare goes up. Right now, an individual taking one bus to work and one bus home spends $7. An individual who has to take 2 buses, that money goes up to $14 a day. And I heard in some other presentations and discussions of this that we can look at bus fares going up to $5 or whatever each way, or you may, whatever it is. The point is that as soon as bus fares increase, workers will turn to their employers and say, look, we need more money because my salary is already stretched to the limit and I cannot make it to work daily on this and provide bus fares for children. We also anticipate that arrangements to subsidize children have been riding on the bus for free for many years in this country. To have them pay the same rate or any rate at all changes the expenses of that family. So what we are seeing here is that and I repeat myself, there are many benefits beyond the immediate provision of rides from point A to point B to individuals. So if you look at that, the first argument that we have, or the first issue that we have to settle as a country and as a government, whoever is the government, and policymakers, and even private sector decision makers, is to ask yourself, what are we seeking to do with the provision of public transportation? And I'll just share this quickly. And this is a reference from Mode Shift is an organization in the UK where people promote the value of public transportation and other kinds of means of trying to, travel around the country. So the chief revenue officer of this company, Mood Shift, Margaret Clouston, had this to say in sharing her perspective on why we need to invest in public transportation as a way of promoting economic growth, and also how it creates the value of creating a strong transit network. And I quote from her, she said, investing in public transportation isn't just about moving people. It's about moving communities forward. Reliable transit systems provide the vital arteries for the flow of workers, goods, and ideas that fuel economic growth and opportunity. And so at the heart of this is the notion that we really have to ensure that whatever decisions are taken about mass transit, because that's what we're talking about, moving, our buses, our ZRs or taxis, however we define public transportation, the sum total of that must be so designed and delivered that it allows the public to get to work efficiently, that we are able to manage the costs to the individuals in a way that does not overburden, the person. So in terms of looking at that background, what you're really faced with is not a simple decision of we have buses and we're going to get rid of them and people are going to get them and wave a magic wand and people will be rich. Now, what I've chosen to do, because I've heard discussions about the letter, but I think it is absolutely important to also understand some of the comments, some of the positions taken by this government. And I will highlight these because if we go back to the beginning of the year, for example, we have heard that we can expect, that the government was going to make some changes or whatever the case may be. And I would have expected, when you look at the time frames, I'm going to share something from February this year. Discussions, comments have been made by the government prior to that. If we look at that, my question is, why is this thing appearing to be sudden? Because I will explain why I say sudden. So if you can make that larger, Dave, for the audience to see, what I have done here is to identify a couple sources of information which help you to see what government's position has been. And I've taken in the two that are on the screen. The first one is an article in Barbados today of the 26th of February of this year, in which it is I think it would have been the Deputy Prime Minister, I think she's Cynthia Bradshaw, who's responsible for the Transport Board. And it says a new era for public transport if done right. And it says the government of Barbados is on the verge of one of the most significant overhauls of the island's public transport system in decades. The planned merger of the Transport Board and the Transport Authority into a single mass transit authority promises greater efficiency, reliability, and improved regulation. But as with any major reform, its success will depend on proper implementation, robust enforcement, and meaningful stakeholder engagement. And it is against this comment that I assess some of what I have seen appear not in March, not in April, not in July, but in November. And I look at it, proper implementation. Proper implementation will depend on proper development, the proper articulation, design, and development of the system that you want to put in place. And here so if you don't have if you don't have a proper understanding of what is happening, how can we anticipate proper implementation? So before we can get to robust enforcement, we also have to think in terms of meaningful stakeholder engagement. And my question is, who are the key stakeholders here? And what level of engagement through the sharing of information have we seen between February, it was February 26th. And right in front of us, we have a second article where if you go back up, Dave, before we get to the promise, the government ministers to take up transport overhaul next week. Next week would have been the 9 and 16, the 16th of September or somewhere around that. And this article, again, drawn from the Barbados Today, says, the government used the Transport Board's 70th anniversary service to place sweeping reforms of public transport, with ministers to consider proposals on modernization, sustainability, and improved service by next week. Acting Prime Minister and Minister of Transport and Works, Santia Bradshaw, said on Sunday. She declared this reform is about building a stronger, more accountable institution and more efficient organization that can better meet the needs of the Barbadian public. As minister, I want to reaffirm the government's full commitment to the transformation. Reliable public transportation is a critical pillar of national development. We all agree to that. Whether it's education, whether it's healthcare, whether it's in relation to our social services, we all see the same thing. Now, my question is, between February, the end of February of this year, and the middle of September, and I put the question out there to our audience and to other stakeholders, has the government and the minister responsible for transport shared with stakeholders proposals for this divestment? And I raised that the biggest all of us are shareholders and stakeholders because we're talking about taxpayers' money. And if they are suggesting that there will be savings from doing this, show us how a system that covers the entire 11 parishes will be so reformed and redesigned to ensure the efficiency that they promise. I may be wrong, but I am yet to see anything. And in my checking, I have not asked every category of stakeholder or all Barbadians, but in my checking, nobody could point me to any documentation, any detailed proposals for this. So this really, to my mind, when we think in terms of a system of transformation or a plan to transform, again, we see the kind of error. If it has not already been made, it is in the making, because it cannot be something restricted to workers of the Transport Board. Because remember, the letter was written to the General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, who coincidentally, for those who might forget, and I don't suppose the average body forgets, the General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union is a stakeholder in the government. She's a member of Parliament. And therefore, she's part of the parliamentary group, even though she is not a cabinet member. She should be fully apprised of government's plans. So my interpretation of that is, even if she does not or did not until that letter was written communicate anything to her members, she should have been fully seized of government's plans as a member of the parliamentary group and as an MP, which makes her part of that group. So my question really and truly is, what are they planning to do? I also would have cited an article there. I didn't have the extracts, but I have it here. It was an article, Dave, if you go back up to it was just the reference where the one before this, where at the bottom, I gave a reference so people can understand. But that reference at the bottom here today, it says from a facebook.com, Barbados Today, Prime Minister Mottley has set up proposals to revamp the public transport, and this is an article, PM Mulls AI privatization in public transport overhaul. Prime Minister Mottley, and I'm reading from the article. That's it, Dave. You got it, so you can scroll down if you want to. Prime Minister Mottley has set out proposals to revamp the public transport network with artificial intelligence at the heart of plans to optimize bus routes and a new mass transit authority to regulate a fully privatized transit system. Just days before the Transport Board celebrates its 70th anniversary on Sunday, when it began a 24-year period of state takeover of private concessionaires, the Prime Minister was again touting the privatization of the bus company under new regulator. Now, those are nice fancy words, and that is my concern. We hear these things all the time. Speaking at the St. John edition of the Ideas Forum on Monday night, Mottley said that the Ministry of Transport had an obligation, in my view, and I'm quoting her, or at least she's being quoted in the article, has an obligation, in my view, to be able to carry us to the next level and to be able to see what is the optimization of bus routes in this country that are not simply in and out of city. Framing the issue as part of a larger vision for decentralized services, the Prime Minister challenged the traditional model of bus travel centered on Bridgetown. Now, you know, the Prime Minister of Barbados is perceived as being very gifted with her words, very articulate, but I like to dissect words. I like to ask myself, what exactly, in simple terms, are you telling me? Because remember, the title of the thing, it says that the Prime Minister was offering proposals. It says Prime Minister Mottley has set out proposals to revamp the public transport network. I challenge any of the viewers or anybody who read this article or who might have participated in that Ideas Forum to give me 3 concrete proposals. I hear about AI, but AI to be used in respect of what exactly? You know, you're talking about a new regulator. Yes, we've heard about the creation of a transit authority. You've talked about it being part of a package of the what they called it again. You talked about decentralization and decentralized service, a vision of decentralized services. My concern, colleagues, is that what we are hearing and seeing all the time, and people get offended when I use the word a set of buzzwords. So I would say something else. What we are getting all the time are some fancy sounding, very generic and generalized statements from which we cannot deduce any concrete things. And I say that I maybe it is my discipline, it is my background, which is in management, which is in getting things done, which is in decision making, which is about implementing and evaluating things that you put in place. But I listen to that and I ask myself, what is going to change? How is it going to change? What is the effect of that change? And so at the heart of all of this, Marcy, and I see your peer, which means you're getting ready to tell me to wrap up, is that we had a letter saying government was going to do something, sell off electric buses. And there was a discussion on your show about the pros and cons of that. What I have sought to do in what I've said is, look, you can't take that in isolation. A bus system which is supposed to achieve the objectives that I set out cannot be put in the hand of disparate individual drivers. One have a bus here, one has a bus there. Partly because if I start from where y'all were discussing, operational costs and so on for an individual, especially because right now the buses are subsidized. Operational costs will not allow those individuals taking people's gratuity, their severance, or whatever, and putting into that is like, you know, you're feeding a hungry elephant. So that money will easily disappear and they would be worse off than when they started. That is at the level of the business person. At the level of citizens like you and I who will drive on the buses all the old age pensioners, the school children, etc. Tell us, how will you continue to deliver, or if you will continue to deliver services to those persons? You know, so I what I really wanted to say to people is, look, pause and contextualize the contents of that letter. What is it that we've sought to achieve as a country? What has made it work? How has it contributed to the cost of living, the quality of living, and the ability not only of the traveler on the bus, who is the worker for the most part, but how has it contributed to the profitability and the stability of business operations? And I can go on, because what I hope I have been able to demonstrate is that this is not a simple issue. It is complex.
Yes.
It is linked into every sector of this economy. And if you damage it, the damage is not only individual, the damage is collective. And it's going to be felt across all strata of this society. And I think that I can stop there, Marcia.
Yes, well, I mean, thank you, Ms. McLean. I was just saying to Dave, that what you have done, you've taken us, from the start of it, really, and of this whole conversation, and brought us up to present. And I was seeing in there some articles that I didn't even know of. Because even today I was trying to find out, is this document really real? I was calling around my lawyer friends and so on. And we came to the conclusion that we believe, because they haven't said anything about it, which is another thing, that it's a high possibility that it's real. But then when we look at some of what you were saying about the Prime Minister, based on newspaper articles have said, based on what they reported that she has said, one would conclude that this particular document, it's a high chance that it is correct.
It is. I would say it is real, and I'll tell you what. And I will look for it, and I will share it with you when I am watching the rest of the show.
Yes.
After the discussion of this, I heard a news item where Roy Trotman, former General Secretary, and I presume he is still a consultant to the current General Secretary, was responding to an invitation to the union. And so it says to me, I would have to go and see if I can find his words, but I listened. Yes. And so he has indicated that the union is considering whatever. So I will research that. It is interesting.
And if you need to just hang around, and if you need to jump back on, please do. One of the things I want to say to the people of Barbados, Ms. McLean, is that they have the power to stop this.
Of course.
This is only a proposal, Barbados. We have the power to stop this. This is what the opposition leader response is to this proposed privatization. Realize it's a proposal, and I'm telling you right now, this is going to stop dead in the tracks. They are worried wherever they are right now. They are running helter-skelter trying to fix this problem. And I tell you, government, this BLP government, you have a problem on your hands, because you are not going to implement this in this country. Not if it's the same Bajans I saw on the streets yesterday. Not if it's them same people.
Marcia, this is again what. But let me say this. The government, the Prime Minister, as Minister of Finance and head of government, would have negotiated with the IMF. This is standard IMF recommendations. Get out of the provision of social goods, of public goods. Get out of the provision of these things. And in doing this, you are destroying the very things that built this country. And yes. I would dare say, and I will say this because I was at the university only Friday at an event, and I as I said, I am writing about it. I know there were shortcomings in how it was done. People criticize, and for those people criticize the government when they introduce a 20% fee to students. This is nothing, or that, let me say, is nothing compared to what this would do to this country. And remember, this is part of a package of things. The next thing you will hear about is health.
Exactly.
Privatization of health.
So Ms.
I
McLean, I will say this here because as you can see, I have others in the waiting in the green room. You know, listen, and once we're finished with that other matter, and once we've got a room, I just jump right back in because
I will go and search for the information about the union in the meantime as I listen.
Yes, and you know what? Let me know when you found it. And we're going to...
I'll send you a note and send Dave some information.
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. McLean. Thank you. That was brilliant. Opposition, they put that back up. Let me just read it before Mr. Phillips come on. Since it was already on the screen, Barbados, make up your mind. This is not happening in this country. This is not happening in Barbados. All we've got to do is to make up our minds. Do you understand? The government's proposed divestment of the Transport Board is consistent with abandoning the agenda of social democracy. That's one of the points in the response of the Honorable Ralph Thorne, who is the leader of the opposition of Barbados, and also the leader of the president of the Democratic Labour Party. And I want to thank him for coming out and saying something on this. I'm asking, where is everybody else? Where are the other parties? Why don't I have something from you to read on here tonight? This is important to Barbados, you know. Point number 2, Mrs. Thorne said the Transport Board has served Barbados for 70 years and is a part of the physical and commercial landscape. Transferring a social service to employees is flawed, because the same industry could not be viable as a profit-oriented endeavor. Privatizing the Transport Board would result in higher bus fares, period. Privatization would reject a social democratic agenda and betray lower income groups. The government should engage in wide consultation on this proposal. We have been telling the government that, and they won't listen, so they're going to feel it. Try it. Try it. That's all I can tell you. But as far as we're concerned, this is done. We want to thank the person who blew the whistle, and you hang on there. We're coming back to this later in the program. Anywhere they are right now, I'm telling you, helter-skelter, because it ain't happening in this country. All right, so let's welcome Mr. Jason Phillips, the first time to the Marcia Week show, and he's from the north. And if you don't know, Jason Phillips is from the north. Listen, you must be on the summer rock hiding, because he's always on social media talking about what's happening in St. Peter. And so I'm very, very happy to have Mr. Phillips for a couple minutes on the show. Good evening, Mr. Phillips. Okay, let's see here. Unmute. Okay, there you go.
Good afternoon, Miss Marcia Weeks. How are you doing?
Oh, I am excited. You could tell I am fired up. I'm ready to go. I'm excited.
To the good people of St. Peter. And
yes.
All of Barbados.
Yes. Thank you. Sir, I asked you to come on just in case people are wondering, what happened here. I asked Mr. Phillips to come on because I was just amazed at it wasn't even a full day. Is it a full day of rainfall? Not a full 24 hours, but people are flooded out in St. Peter. I mean, one man's house surrounded by water. And I want to personally thank you, Mr. Phillips, for bringing that to the attention of the people of Barbados.
Yes, it must be said that this problem this flooding was a problem from as early as 1984. I was about 9 years old, living in Stars, and every year our houses would flood. I don't mean seeping under the door. I mean water coming through the windows. And
What?
yes, and a guy even drowned in the salt pond. Another man's house was washed right down Church Street. So this Barbados Labour Party led government is aware, and yet after so many years, they have done absolutely nothing to rectify the problem except half build a canal, which is
Okay.
totally still inadequate.
When was this canal built, sir? Can you tell me? I don't know. I just called you on. I didn't do any research. Educators, do you know when the canal was built? And if it's 1984, it would say, though, that is all of the governments, all the parties were responsible.
Yes, yes, all of the governments had a hand in not doing what they were supposed to do. But St. Peter has always been represented by the Barbados Labour Party. And back,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah, back in those days, there was a small canal which was completely inadequate, and houses were flooded even to the roof. A few years ago, they attempted to rectify the problem, but what they did is half did the canal. And
Why is it half done? Explain to us.
I don't know. They burn a lot of money. There's no excuse. The water is coming from the center of the island,
Yes.
all down through the Wim, down through the bowling alley, just around the town, and then into the heart of the town. And people are suffering, people are losing stocks, people are losing property, and nothing is being done about it.
Yeah, and as somebody in the comment section, Sonny saying, they want to build on the gullies, such as Gibbs. They want to put up these big hotels and all of that, and that's one of the issues. I know the residents of Gibbs had a concern about flooding, in their community, there. Can we see this video on the screen, Dave? Thank you.
Let me show the good people of St. Peter what going on here. Look. I hear by a resident right here in St. Peter. And I ain't fooling you. Look, this is Ronnie town. Church, see right there? You right here. Tell the force of Barbados what's going on here.
Yeah, the road out here needs fixing because all the water coming off the road because there's no proper guttering. And look, all this water here got my place flat out.
It's not fair.
This is ridiculous.
You're paying taxes just like anybody else. Look at all this water. This is the same water that coming from the same bowling alley that going down to the salt pond. The government half did the job. Half did the job. My friend, I'm going to make sure the whole of Barbados see your plate.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow. That is something else. That is something else to have water all around your house, in that manner. I mean, that I mean, how many? Probably 2 or 3 more days, as you said, it might come up to the window.
Exactly. And this is a problem going on for eons and all. So the government has absolutely no excuse. None whatsoever. If they were really caring, if this was a caring government would have gone in and rectified the problem, and then we would not have this issue.
Now, while Dave finds another one, because I want you to see the plight of our fellow Barbadians, guys. It's important for you to see it. And as you know, I always say we can talk about it, but when you see it, you begin to feel it too. Because I could hear the hurt in your voice, Mr. Phillips, to know that this is something that has been there for so long and not rectified. Now, have you done a proper assessment as to what the problem is in St. Peter? What's the main issue? You're coming in. You want to represent the people. So my thing is, have you assessed what the challenge really is here?
Yes, please. Now, the next video or footage that you're going to see is a road in Rosa that is flooded.
This is on the screen, the one on the screen?
Yes, but before you bring it on, they did some remedial work, but not sufficient. Perhaps if they were very serious, they would have gone in the gully and probably every 400 feet put a dam. Dam every 400 feet. And then before each dam, sink some wells. that water will then go into the aquifers and can be used for our drinking water, instead of people talking about using sewage water to drink. So you can put dams every 400 or 500 feet and sink some wells that will slow the rapid flow of the water downhill. So by the time it gets into Rose Hill, by the time it gets into Spikes Down, it will be a trickle. I'm sure that engineers will consider that.
Yeah. So do you have engineers on your team that would be able to advise? And also, have you done a costing on this?
I leave the governance for government. When we are elected, when the election is called, we will rectify this problem.
You're right. No, but the reason I thank you for saying that. I figured that's what you would tell me. You don't want to say all your business on the air, but I want to say though, and I hope you take this in the right spirit, that if you're seeing this problem now, I'm hoping that you have. Look at this. This is this is a blueprint to rescue a nation. Report on the Commission on Crime of the Democratic Labour Party. I keep it on my desk here. And look how thick it is. They have a full plan in here. And I'm saying, if this is such a major issue in your constituency, I am hoping that you have a huge document that you put aside and you're keeping, you're working on that with some costing to it, knowing the type of person you are. I know you're doing that, because the reason I'm saying that is that you don't want Mr. Phillips, that 5 years down the road, people saying there's still a flooding problem here. You see what I mean? So if I'm out, I hope you take it in good spirits.
In the correct way. We have a plan and it will be rectified.
Okay, fine. So you're saying here on my show, the Marcia Week show, Jason Phillips is saying that you have a plan to rectify this situation we are seeing in St. Peter.
Yes, look, I am not just talking because I'm looking for a position. I have a purpose. I grew up in Gilstar's Church Street, Spikes in St. Peter, that used to flood every year.
Okay.
So it's personal to me.
Okay. Oh, he dropped out there. Dave, go ahead and play this. He dropped out there. I hope the electricity is still on where he is. Some people have lost their electricity. Let's watch what's happening to our fellow Barbadians.
Good people of St. Peter, we are just a stone throw away from the member of parliament for St. Peter. I can see his house right there. That big wall house out there. And look at this road. Look at this road. I brought the authorities and asked them to fix this rubbish. And the people in Roselle got to contend with this madness. All the time they won't fix the road to the people. They get all kind of things, and the people don't get water getting in their place. This is rubbish. Tell me, no? Tell me how this is fair to the good people of St. Peter. People in Roselle are now divided from each other by a seasonal river. Why the government hasn't fixed this here? They complain to the minister. They complain to the member of parliament for St. Peter. Now the good people in Roselle can't get from their house to work or back home. Look at that water. Cut off the road and access to the people's houses. This is rubbish. Don't vote for them no more. Tell me, no? Tell me how this is fair to the good people of St. Peter. People in Roselle are now divided from each other by a seasonal river. Why the government hasn't fixed this here? They complain to the minister. They complain to the member of parliament for St. Peter.
Okay, folks, we just started to have a lot of problems there. We weren't appearing on the screen, but we're here. There's nothing that's going to stop us. Can you imagine that? This is how people are living. I'm saying to the people in St. Peter, the people wherever, start to become militant with these people. When I say militant, I don't mean to hurt anybody. You see the same way I'm questioning Mr. Phillips. Do you have a plan? How much of you know how much it's going to cost? That's how you need to sit down with whoever come to your house. Stop playing with them. You think that we should have a prime minister driving around, flying about in jets? Do you remember, how much was it per minute? I know Pedro or one of you would remember how much it was per minute. One of you here, man, you know we do this together. I don't remember everything. When she went to the African country, how much is it per hour for the flight? And we had calculated it at 8 hours. Huh? Can somebody tell me how much that was? You are flying around, and this is my problem. I'm telling you, I have a problem with this. You know, I said to somebody today, they were saying, you know, looking at how nice the stage was that we had there, etc. Waiting on Mr. Phillips to get back in. He seemed to have a problem. He dropped out completely. I'm just seeing a black, no camera is on for him. Someone said, you know, they were saying the place looks so lovely. We had a stage and everything. To do that costs us more money. Okay, to get that done. With everything you put there, probably just almost an extra $2,000, $1,700, $1,800 to do that. And we made sure we try our best not to do that. Why? Things are hard. It's coming from the same people that's donating. Why should we take up your money just to go put up a stage when we could stand up there and we can speak? If you have something special like yesterday, we can do that. But not every 2 weeks we're trying to find $4,000. And I'm saying, you are a government. Why should you be flying all about the place like this? And people must live in like they're hogs, wallowing in mud in the north. It's not just St. Peter, but it's St. Lucie. How much more can the north take? Peter Phillips and what's the next one? The Minister of Labor, Colin Jordan. How much more can we take? A lot of some of you people, you go into politics and you're rich. All contracts go through you. The Prime Minister, big things must go through her. Look at the big mess in the north. But you're building hotels, right? Mr. Phillips is back. Mr. Phillips?
Yes, please.
I tell you, these people have me quite upset tonight because I don't like to see when politicians take the people of Barbados for granted and think that the people of Barbados are idiots.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. And I told them that just like I was grilling you here, when you come to their house, or all of them grill you the same way.
I tell my people to hold my feet to the fire because this is not a game. This is the future of our people, right? And as I was saying earlier, this is not, listen, I didn't get in politics because I'm looking for a position. I live in St. Peter, and I realized that you could not drink the water, you could not cook with the water, you could not wash your clothes with your water, and you took a risk bathing with the water. And I said to myself, enough is enough. You had to pay the same water bill like anyone else. And I said, no. There's no representation in St. Peter. And sometimes when you want something done, you have to do it yourself.
Mm.
So I will be a voice for the people. Whether I am in government or, God forbid, in the opposition. It is people first, party second. And good people of St. Peter, I am telling you this. For me, it is your interest first and party second.
Well, listen, we are going to hold you accountable, sir.
Yes, you should.
I am dead serious. I am dead serious. All of you. And I say this, this is why somebody asked me, Marcia, how are you voting? Because it's going to call, sometime soon. And I said to them, Mr. Phillips, I want to see the people in my constituency. I want to document. I want to know what you're doing, so you and I can have a discussion. This is going to be that's how I do it. I mean, I'm obviously not sitting down with the government because I've already seen what they can do. Any other opposition party, come at my house. I can tell you, let us sit down. Let's go and drink some coffee and let me go through what you are doing. I don't care if you're my friend. I'm not joking.
In fact, I'll say this to you on air without fear or favor. People say to me, Phillips, Jason, you are putting too much out there for the other side to see. I said, listen, St. Peter is the forgotten parish. Whitestown is a town in name only. Where is the mini hospital in St. Peter? Where is the mini hospital in St. Peter or Whitestown? Where is the ambulance service? Why can't the Morris Bayer Polyclinic remain open for 24 hours and have an ambulance bay with at least 2 ambulances to serve not only the people of Whitestown and St. Peter, but the north? In fact, we should also have a substation with at least 1 engine, 1 fire engine. Having a fire engine in Whitestown or having a mini hospital will take the strain off of the QEH, which is only standing on 1 leg. In fact, for COVID, the Barbados Labour Party-led government had a fully retrofitted mini hospital in St. Lucie.
Yes.
And they could have used the Morris Bayer Polyclinic as something like fast track. And if it's something more serious, then they could shuttle people down to St. Lucie to that mini hospital. But no, they close it off and now they have it for another use. Totally and completely different to the intention of it. People must look at the issues. I'm asking people in St. Lucie, I'm asking Barbadians to look at the issues and vote. If your government is not working in your interest, vote them out. Give a representative or a candidate a personal vote. If you are fearful of voting for another party, give your candidate a personal vote. Gone are the days that we are just going to vote because we like a particular party or because somebody's going to offer you corned beef and biscuits. No. Vote in your best interest. And that's all I'm asking Barbadians, especially those in St. Peter. That's what I'm asking you.
Well, I want to say, continue what you're doing. At least there is the advocacy, because that's part of representing the people. There is advocacy, making us aware. Look at this situation. I don't know if this is St. Lucie or is it where this one is. This is a 432 number, 422. He's gone again. Excuse me, Dave, where is it? St. Peter. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is my God, this is a long time ago. This can't be today. Huh? Wait, Jason.
Yes,
Jason,
please.
is this today?
You mean the flooding?
Look at where the water is. This is a picture from a long time.
I'm not sure because
okay,
that picture is not mine.
It's not yours, son. We don't know if it's I don't think it's AI, but I'm wondering if is this today.
Am I seeing that's the shamrock by the street lights in Whitestown?
Dave? Yes, Shamrock.
What I can say to you is that when I was a lad, the water would come through the windows, not under the door. I don't know if that particular picture is from today. I don't think so, because I was in Spikestown. I didn't see the water that high in Church Street. But
Yeah.
when I was a boy, the water was that high. When the Coast Guard came for us in our house, in our houses,
Ah,
they came. When the Coast Guard came for us in our houses in '84, they came by boat.
wow. What you're telling me?
And we spent 2 weeks at the Hillwoods Hotel because we could not live in our houses for 2 weeks. And this problem has not really been fixed. They half did the work. This Barbados Labour Party led government is not a caring government. For the amount of money that they borrowed for this year alone, almost $2 billion, they could have done something to rectify this problem before it became a problem.
Wow, that's you make me want to do do some research on the flooding, because I remember speaking to this historian and I could see his face, can't remember his name now, but he told me that there was such great flooding in well, he was telling me about St. James. I didn't realize that it was St. Peter as well. I need to do something on that. It's quite fascinating. I mean, I didn't know of this kind of history in Barbados. Water coming up in your house to your window, and you had to get the Coast Guard. You all knew about this, guys? Wow. Oh wow, this is
Check out the flooding in Gilstaris, Church Street, Spikestown, St. Peter. I remember as a boy seeing they had the little dinkies and they came through our gap in boats.
yeah.
In boats. No lights.
Boat.
In boats.
I'm sending you some more, Dave, because people have asked people to send me stuff. And guys, you need to let me know if it's St. Peter or St. Philip. You know that or St. thing. You know, I don't know the difference. So you've got to let me know. Thank God Dave is here. Dave can tell me.
But Marcia,
Yeah.
where you saw me standing in the road with a river of water.
Yes.
About 3 or so months ago, I wrote the authorities about this,
I see. Mm-hmm.
I wrote them because this is just a stone throw from the Member of Parliament for St. Peter House. It isn't that he don't know. And some residents call me. They say they're not getting any representation. I wrote the authorities. Because when it gets worse, the water actually goes into the people's houses.
Yeah.
Push away their cars and so on. This is a serious issue. And it must be addressed.
Yes. Wow.
And when you hear me shouting or raising my voice, it's because I'm very angry.
Yes. Maurice Greenwich gave us a full history on St. James. But I think we really need to go on. Jason, I'm going to reach out to you. We need to do some kind of special on the flooding situation. That's telling something is going to happen. I just have this feeling, a bad feeling. I think we need to highlight this problem here. Can you imagine if what happened in Jamaica had come here?
It's not even a hurricane. And we're having this kind of flooding. Imagine if we get a serious storm in Barbados, what's going to happen to people?
Oh my gosh. And all the thing is isn't this Mr. Phillips, this is part of what the former senator Crystal Haynes was trying to say in the Senate, that when you put up a 9-story hotel, you're putting up more concrete. And what's going on, she's saying, is that right now the whole sewage system, the flooding, all these issues that they're having down there, you're putting a strain on the system. And one of her big concern was flooding. But she was pushed out of the Senate. She was fired.
Look,
her seat was taken from her.
If government really wants to work on this problem in Spikestown with the flooding, start the canal from the Wim. Fix the bridge in the Wim. Start the canal from the Wim and come down to St. Peter. But further up in the gully, sink some holes, some wells, and also dam. Dam every 500 meters or so. And put the dams at various heights. So the one behind is slightly higher than the one in front. And sinks and wells. You will slow the water. And every so often, have people go and clear the gully of rubbish and debris. And then when you get into Spikestown by the Fisherman Pub, make sure that the sand is removed from under the bridge. Because a few weeks ago, in one of my videos, I pointed out that the bridge is completely blocked with the sand. So when the rain fell today, for hours, the water could not pass under the bridge and get into the sea. You can't sit in an office and manage a drainage. You have to get out and see what's going on.
Yes, yes.
We need proper representation in St. Peter. And I am ready, able, and willing to do that for the good people of St. Peter.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Phillips. Thank you for bringing this to light. And I will say, St. People in St. Peter, have a sit down with Mr. Phillips and make a choice. Make a choice. Challenge him. Challenge him. We're not taking it like that anymore. We're different kind of people. Different kind of people. We're gonna use the vote though. I promise you, Mr. Phillips, we're gonna use the vote.
I want it.
And we're gonna send a message to these people. Thank you so much, sir. God bless.
Thank you as well.
Yes. Now that is a perfect case of Mr. Phillips didn't send and call me. I called him because I saw that he was representing the people in St. Peter, in that he's highlighting the problem. Okay. Now, as you can see, we challenged him to move from just highlighting to come up with a proper plan that has a budget of how it's going to fix. If you're only talking to me and telling me all what you're going to do, and you don't have a budget and of how you're always going to be done, you don't have to have the money, but it's how you plan to get it done. How are you going to get the money to get it done? Then don't talk to me. You're wasting time. Yeah. And so I'm grateful that he says that's something he and his team that they are working on. I'm saying every one of you listening to me, educated Barbadian people, intelligent Barbadian people, listen to me. Every one of them, sit them down. What is the vision for this community, for a constituency? And don't tell me, and how do you plan to achieve it? And don't you dare tell me that all representatives are bad. No. I came to Barbados and there was a Barbados Labour Party representative in my constituency. And I can tell you this, the man's presence was felt and seen. He wasn't Jesus doing everything. But I can tell you, there's nobody in this constituency that you could go to and talk to them about Anthony Wood, and they have a bad word to say about Anthony Wood. I just had somebody, a neighbor who passed, and I was able to call him, and he knew the person. He contacted the person's mother in the US and everything. He has all of that still going on. He was able to tell me that the house that this person lived in down the road, I got that for them. He did this. And when you go to Shark Hall and you talk to the people and you hear them talking about Anthony Wood, so I know what good representation is. And after that, we had Mr. Who was the Attorney General. I'm not remembering any names. I'm so tired. Dave is going to help me with that name. Who was the Attorney General. And he was fine, but it was not as good as Anthony Wood. Dave, what's his name? He used to have a little, he used to serve the children breakfast and people in the community breakfast in the mornings, and had people to come and they cook the breakfast. People, come on, you know the name of he was a former Attorney General, Adriel Bradford. Thank you. See, we do it together. Lord, you guys make sure I don't shame. Adriel Bradford. But the real, I mean, representation, and I mean, being there for the people, even to this day. Somebody needs a toilet put in, they're calling Mr. Wood. They're not calling that other one from the other BLP one. And so you see, I'm not being partisan. I'm telling you about a BLP MP, and that's the truth. Yes, and the other one that was very good as well was Michael Lashley. I'm not going to pretend. The man was good. I didn't live in Michael Lashley's constituency, but I felt him. Outside of the constituency, you could feel his work. And my children went to Bailey's, and we saw the work that he did at Bailey's. I have to give Jack his jacket. Okay? I have to. But I'm saying to you, Mr. Anthony Wood, I use him as a standard. And when you're not coming like that, don't come around me. Don't come around me with foolishness. Don't come. I don't have any time to waste. Other people talking about their constituencies. Your Pedro, you lived in Danville constituency. I don't know. I can only talk about where I live. You understand? So I know that you can have good representation. I've not given up on representation. Yeah? Right? So we've got to move this from promises. We've got to move it from the promises. Listen to me. The only people that can get them to change, is the Barbadian people, that we are the ones that can get them to change. We can put the fear of God in them, and we don't have to lift a stone. We don't have to mash up the place. So why would we mash up our beautiful Barbados? We don't need to riot and mash it up. And I'm telling you, set your mind to this. Every Barbadian listening to me, set your mind to this. There will be no privatization of the transport board. None. Set your mind. It's about setting your mind, Do you realize that up until now, they have not come out and said a word? Didn't this come out on Thursday? I was so busy with the Stand with Ronnie March that I wasn't fully tracking everything. But I believe this came out on Thursday or Friday morning. And I'm being told, and I was checking, guys, because, I said, I don't want to come on here and shame, and the thing is fake. So I call around to my people today. But listen, look what just came into my phone here before. We're going to switch to Ronnie, and then we have all week to deal with this here. We're going to come back to this. I am being told, and I got good sources, but if it is not so, may the government come and tell the people. Come, Jerome Walcott. You love to say this show tell lies. So can you come out and tell us if what we're discussing about the transport board is a lie? Why are you so quiet? Do you remember in 2017 when Ryan Strawn came out and he said, you need to privatize? You remember that? And you came out and said that he was speaking out of turn. Where are you right now? Why you don't come out now, Jerome? Come out. Or are you even in the island? Come out and tell us if it is true or not. Yeah, you came out and you said that, that little boy there, he talking out of turn. Some of these people need to learn and they need to understand before they speak. Where are you right now? How many days? Was it Thursday? Somebody tell me if it was Thursday. If it's Thursday, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days, you know they would fly out already. Is it Thursday, Pedro? Somebody tell me. Either 3 or 4 days since this thing came out. I don't see, Jerome, where are you? Where are you? Honorable Jerome Walcott, they're going to tell me to say, but your name Jerome too, because you go on there and calling everybody in there liars. Basically, that's what you did. And told your people that they need to do whatever they need to do on social media. You sent out your social media warriors to us. Where are they right now? Why are they so quiet? Where are the BLP people, the influencers? Why don't you come and refute this? Where are the influencers? Anybody wondered about that? Where is the minister of check? Where is the one with the check? The check that got up and that check that flew caught wings and flew into the office. Where is that minister? Isn't she over transport? I know she's over transport, but I was calling out Jerome for a reason. Why minister of check so silent? Yeah. And where is Tony Moore? Why don't you come out and refute it? Why? You go to, fake news. Oh, we need to monitor the internet. You all need to be responsible. Oh, and you're passing around, you know how they love to come and they sit on the high horse and they too. Where are the influencers? Listen, somebody says, Marcia, for your information, the letter is real. This is somebody who should know. Can't tell you my sources. Is it true that the PS? Oh, Lord. Miss McLean, you're listening. Oh, Lord. Miss McLean, I better not bring you in here with what I'm going to say. Lord, share up the live, people. Share up the live, because you're going to hear it on here for the first time. I know the government watching. And we want to hear from you. Why your mouth shut now? Huh? Well, listen, we don't shut your mouth, you know. You all want shut up Ronnie. You want to take Ronnie freedom of speech. No. We're saying speak, government, speak. We're not trying to stop you from speaking, government. Speak. Take the mic. Huh? Speak. Yes, it's a $7,500 question. That is the question. This is it here. Share up the live. Anybody share the live and like the live yet? No. Santia Bradshaw, Deputy Prime Minister. Jerome Walcott, Senior Minister. Senior, I think that's how they call him. Prime Minister Mia Mottley, is this true? That the PS that the letter was addressed to is going to be moved? Is it true that PS is going to be punished? Because the letter was not to be shared, was not to be shared with the union as yet? Is the PS going to be moved? Come out and answer that. Reliable sources are telling us, but is it true? I'm asking you. This is a $7,500 question here. Tony Moore, you're doing less these days, less. Where are the influencers, Tanisha? The PS wasn't supposed to share the letter with the unions, and so now they're gonna punish the PS. Is there a permanent secretary that is being punished concerning this letter? Dave, let me see the name of the go up on the name on there. The Ministry of Transport and Works. Who is the PS of the Ministry of Transport and Works? Let me see if it's on the letter. It's not me said it will be on the letter. Is it the name at the bottom, somebody? Oh, Lord. Oh, gee, Jehu. Oh, Jehu, they're moving you? Oh, my God. Is this true? Jehu, you're listening? We're on your side. Jehu, the loyal opposition on your side, if it's true. You know that Jehu is who trod on Jezebel. Oh, Lord. Listen, this is deep. Jehu is a very significant person in the Bible, you know. And I tell you, the symbolic or the symbolism of Jezebel, that Jezebelic rule, let them go and do this. You gonna walk and eat grass because you're gonna have to leave from in there. I am telling you now, Jehu, go and read your Bible. I dare them. This will stay as a proposal. Oh Lord, this is a man. Oh, looks like a nice gentleman. Oh, very nice gentleman. Seemed like very nice man doing his job. I don't know. He seems like a wonderful gentleman, but his name is on the letter. Wow, we will stand with you, sir. Oh my goodness. Wiltshire sounds like he's from St. Philip. Oh boy, Dave, that sounds like a St. Philip name. That's a nice man there, like he loved the country and so on. Jehu? Oh Lord. Well, is it true, sir, that they are moving you? What did you do wrong? Come and talk to us. Talk to the people of Barbados. Huh? I'm reading something else here. I can't say all of that. Dave, explain for me. Somebody say he's a hard worker. Excuse me? Okay, I'm getting more information. Oh, I know. Oh, I'm being told that I know him. If I know him, no, this is a nice man. Hard worker. Oh, he's a hard worker. Whoa. No, man. Mr. Wiltshire, reach out. Reach out. We ready to march. Listen to me. We have in one march before independence. I have a big event to go on the 29th. I'm going to dress up to this event. I can't announce it, but I'm dressing up for an event on the 29th of the 29th. But you see the morning of the 29th, Barbados, the Saturday morning. Some of you want to pray. We're going to stop and pray. But I tell you, we're going to stomp out this transport board proposal. This ain't happening in Barbados to poor people. Put it down, and I bet you they're gonna come out now. They don't want us to march. The 29th of November. Do you understand me? The day before independence. We are back out there on the streets, Barbados. This will never see the light of day. They will stay there. They will shut their mouths. Negotiations, what? Discussion, what? We never know anything about it. If Mr. Jehu wasn't trying to do his job and send it to the union. Thank you, J.U. Wiltshire. You're a proud Barbadian tonight. Stand up and take a bow. We would have never know about it right now. Huh? They probably would have waited till after elections or bugger you. They catch you now. You were going to wait till after elections. Yeah. Yes, somebody say he's always been a man of integrity. No nonsense and very committed, I'm sure, to Barbados. I saw it steer. Listen to me. Folks, I am so excited here now. Well, it appears so, Sanchez. I just came. I don't know, Miss McLean. I don't want to bring her in this lay here. But it appears so that this man, them move the man. Oh, he's from St. Philip. Yeah. I tell you, Miss, well, me know your family. I know your family. Come and talk to me. I'm sure I live down the road from your family. I can walk up there. Mr. Wiltshire, sir, come and have a talk. Don't let them do you anything wrong. We got your back. I am telling you, no, I'm getting riled up, Miss McLean. Let me done before. I don't want to bring you in this. But it's what I'm hearing here that they plan to, is J High or J Hugh? The letter said J Hugh. Oh, Lordy. Well, Miss McLean has another thing here. Yes, let me bring her in now. Let me think. She was in ministry in a minister. She can say what she wants to say, but you know, she's Miss Diplomacy. Good night again, Miss McLean.
Hi, Marcia.
Yes. And I call
yes,
you.
I've had to interact with Mr. Wiltshire, Jehu.
Oh, so he's
Jehu.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
He
know
was in
him.
energy that one. When I left government, I think he was in energy.
Mm-hmm.
He also had a brother who was a public officer as well.
Well, somebody's calling me. I don't know if this is Mr. Wiltshire calling me, but anybody's calling me, please call WhatsApp. WhatsApp would be better, and they probably want to talk to me. Let play this and let me go and see who this is calling me, because I am telling you, we're ready to hit the pavement for Jehu. Go ahead, Dave. Let's play what you have on the screen.
Scary.
But you know, Miss McLean, I was going to say, but you know, this might not be Barbados until I heard the R word. Then I knew.
No, there's a lot of rain. I was checking some messages. A lot of rain has fallen. Funny enough, only on Friday, I told some folks at the beach that we hadn't seen our weather yet for the year, because this is the first rain of this kind that I've seen.
The call again, Miss McLean. I'm going to go right ahead and talk about the letter.
Okay, I sent a clip to Dave to show. I think the question was whether the letter was real or otherwise. There's a clip which I shared with him. It's Sir Roy Trotman speaking. Let's say in the absence of the General Secretary, who is out of the country. Dave, I don't know if you can share that clip. I think it would have been from VOB. That would have been Friday evening, I believe, you have to check the date, but reference is made to the, the plans, I suppose you can describe it, of the transport board. Interestingly enough, in my check-in, I also came across a comment from Saroy about 7 years ago on this issue of the transport board, and the headline said that he was not in favor of privatization. Quite interestingly, at that time, this is the older clip, if I remember correctly. So play that, Dave, because that's 7 years ago, if my memory serves me right. If it is wrong, somebody can correct me. Go ahead, Dave.
As you know, the Transport Board has put forward some idea of the vision which the ministry and the chairman of the board together have for the future of transport. And my concern, and I believe the concern that which the General Secretary will indicate on her return, is a concern that we have to guard transport systems. If there are three important things which a government in office has to treat as a first social obligation, it has to be the question of hospital care or medical care. Then it has to be the question of education. Well, naturally, somebody may say housing, but I'm taking hospitalization or medical care, education, and the third one has to be transportation. But I make that observation in circumstances where the people who most need transport are the people who can least afford transport. When you start to work, the first thing you do is you buy a bicycle. And if you don't buy a bicycle, you buy a motorcycle. And then you graduate to a second-hand car or another second-hand car. And eventually you may own your own car. It's the people who can't afford the bicycle stage who are the primary target, as well as the retired persons and the children going to school. We cannot leave it up to chance to have those people have transport as a right. And so whatever policy we adopt, the transport of our people so they can socialize, so they can get to business places, so they can get enlightenment, so that they can remain human. Transport cannot be taken lightly, or should not be left to the private sector to regulate as the private sector sees fit. It is a government obligation so far as the BW is concerned. I say that, and then I go on to say that I'm aware that the Ministry of Transport does have something of a vision. I'm not sure that they've got specific proposals that they're ready to put in writing, but they have discussed with us some proposals that they are still working on. The Barbados Workers Union intends to meet with the workers, not only bus operators, but their proposal goes as far as dealing with cleaners, with general workers, with clerks. And we are going to meet with the first batch of those workers this coming Sunday. That is Sunday the 11th, I believe it is. And that will be at 4:30 in the afternoon here at Solidarity House. And we will discuss what we understand the vision of the government to be, the proposal which has not been structured in such a way that we could hand out copies to anybody. But we are going to discuss that, and the workers will start the exercise of putting together a worker viewpoint regarding what transport could very well be like what the workers would wish transport to be like. So we will have that meeting on this coming Sunday at 4:30, and then the following Sunday, for those who might be working evening, then they will have their chats. But we have to respond to the government's vision. We recognize that transport has been a sore point for both administrations, and we realize that the urge to fix it tomorrow or to fix it yesterday will be there. But it has to be fixed in such a manner that we will treat the people for whom the transport system has been structured and should be structured in the future.
That, Marcia, was 7 years ago. I also have, and the interesting thing about it was, whatever the issue then, the general secretary was aware. There's the second one, Dave, which would have been last week, because today is Sunday. If you could play. So Roy again is speaking. You're muted, Marcia.
No, I was saying we could play that one, and then we will move the show on to talk about Saturday's march with
right.
Standing with Ronnie Clark. Yes, go ahead, Dave. And if Dave is getting it ready, I just want to say to those of you who are watching, please write down the date, the 29th of November. The 29th, as one day before independence. And we are hitting the streets. We know that they're saying Sir Roy is going to speak on behalf of the workers, but we tell everybody, it's a Saturday, you can come down and you can march. You know, once you don't have to work, everybody, you work in the transport system, you work and you have family, everybody come down. We're hitting the streets and we're sending a message. Okay? No, Dave, not this one, not Ronnie. Miss, yes, the wrong thing up. All right. I think Miss McLean is saying that there is a second video.
A current one related to that letter. So if you play that, then you could, so that people could hear, because the reason why I shared the older one as well is the union is supposed to have been talking for 7 years and we don't have a plan. And so this comes like a thief in the night. You know, and then there are comments. If you read the stories, the people from the ZR community are asking for information and all of that. And remember, the Prime Minister talked about stakeholders and keeping people informed and participate, you know, involve stakeholders, etc. So I think people need to understand the realities. And I asked the question, why are these things released when the general secretary is not around?
This is the one, Miss McLean?
This is the one, and there's some clips in here, you see?
Yes, right. Yes. Go right ahead, Dave. Thank you so much.
For about 3 years now, this was in the planning. I have no more details, but that it was being done by Ambassador Masco. Now I understand there's a proposal. We don't know the details of the proposal. So while we were arranging to have a meeting for Sunday, about that same time we got this notice about the divestment. So it's one of the items on our agenda. We will anticipate what there is, we will plan, and sometime very shortly we expect that we will have meetings to discuss what the divestment means.
There's another clip, a little further, that one as well.
Tony Moore is not on the island, and there are some groups that I have been dealing with for her. I'm not taken over as General Secretary. There's nothing earth-shattering about that. I have been dealing with some of I still come down and I assist gratis. Tony Moore is not here, and I have been dealing with the Transport Board issues, as in fact I deal with some of the other issues that...
as you did 7 years ago.
Easier for her. As part of my helping.
Well, I'm hoping that, you know, I don't know, Sir Roy, and I'm just saying I'm hoping, I'm speaking as though any Barbadian would speak. I'm hoping that he will not be bought out. We have seen it before our eyes. We've seen the media being bought out. We've seen unions bought out. Look at Tony Moore. Um, we've seen the government and the prime minister having her hand in all of these entities, excuse me, that are supposed to be independent. So our prayer is that he is not bought up. But whether or not he's bought up, Barbadians need to make up their minds that it's not happening in modern day Barbados. We're not going back. We are going to work and better the system that we have, which is a combination of private and public sector, right, Ms. McLean? Private and public, and work together. Make it that work. Every Barbadian needs to put it in their mind. It is not happening. You have to tell yourself that. You understand? And don't wait for them to take this long time to come up with a spin, you know, Miss McLean, to tell you this. Make up your mind. You think your own thoughts. Make up your mind that it is not happening. You are not negotiating on it. You have to be that way. Yeah. Miss McLean, any final thoughts before you go?
Well, I find it very concerning that we continue along this path. You know, the name Clyde Maskell came up, somebody I've known for a long time. I am still waiting to hear from him in relation to the sugar industry and Co-op Energy and those two companies that were formed. He was very much involved there. He's been involved with this for a while. Hardwood housing, you know, I really am concerned that, and with all of these projects, Marcia, the damage that can be done to our country, to our people. And Saroy, I recommended that they pay the older message, because all the things, the arguments that I was making, Saroy was making, you know, and we have to believe in these things.
Yes, we have a caller on the line, and this is none other. You know who this is. Everybody should know who this is. You know he's not going to let something like this pass, and he doesn't call all the time. But when he does call,
Caswell.
Oh,
David.
He's the athlete. He's the athlete.
Oh, Mr. Young.
Mr. Young. Victor. Yes. Can you hear him, Miss McLean?
Tell him speak again.
This is Victor Broadback Young.
Broadback Young. I'm hearing you a little faint, but I am hearing. So if you could speak a little louder, a little good.
Yes, this is Victor Broadback Young, 87 years old, senior athlete.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can hear him?
Yes, sir.
I must tell you that Mr. Joshua, the guy who was in that ministry, the Elder Affairs, he's a brilliant, decent, and he loves senior people. I believe they move him from there because he's too bright, and they put him in the position where they're going to try to think they could get rid of him. But that guy is decent. He understands people. He's a bright guy. But I realize the guy who is now under him is soft. So they will be able to keep that guy there because he's a soft guy. But Mr. Wilshire is a gentleman, and he loves senior people. He has all the criteria to be in the position that he was in. But I know they'll move him from there because he's too bright. You see, when you're bright, they don't keep you in a position. If they find that you're a softy and they can run rings around you, that is what they will do. This is why I believe now that they put that other guy who was his deputy in that position because they know that he's a soft guy. But Mr. Wilson is a guy who stands for integrity, and I support him 100%, and they're not going to fire him either.
Yeah, they better not. They better not. Don't touch Mr. Wilshire.
Listen, they're not going to touch him because there's a lot more that I can give you. But I'm just doing it in piecemeal. You ever hear about piecemeal things?
Yes,
I'm doing it in piecemeal.
I can't wait to hear the rest. So we're watching this one, Mr. Young.
If they touch him at all, then you won't touch the thing. I'm just waiting.
Yes.
You can't touch him. But I know to transfer him up there for that reason. Because you see, he call it as he's shaking, he do it as you know how it is to be done. He don't go for any kind of little flip-flop as some of the rest will go for. So when they find out that you're not that kind of person, they move you and put you in another position where they think they could put the rod on you and maybe try to get rid of you or get you to be fed up, you see. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Wow.
Well, so let them know that it's not going to happen at all. Not to Josh.
Josh. Well, let me tell.
He's too bright to let these people who are jokers come around him with foolishness. The man is well trained.
Yes. But thank you for letting us know.
And I must tell you, the minister couldn't come and put the mockery on him. He knew what he had to do. So sometimes I look through the side of my eye when I see them talking. You know, it's a thing called look to the side.
Yes.
I'm able to see side, back, upwards, downwards, and everything. I make sure that my eyes are able to work up and down and crossways and center.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for calling and for giving us that.
And they know that they can't fool me because I know that ministry very well. I know that ministry for the last 20 years. And I must say, I want to give the sympathy to one of the co-founders of the Senior Girls, Mr. Ralph Thorne. He passed away 2 days ago.
Okay. My condolences to him. Yes, his family. And yourself, yes. Well, thank you so much.
And listen, I want to make it abundantly clear. They can't stop me from calling this show. Who don't like me to call this show and is my friends, they can break my friendship because I can call the show all the time.
You better, because if you don't call us, we're going to call you. So you listen, they can't do us one thing.
Right, so they can't stop anything. Don't let them fool you with bullyism that they think they're because they can't stop anything.
Can't stop what? Stop what?
I heard jokers that is around her. Or she got jokers around her.
All jokers. Well, it's we have your picture here on screen.
I call them political mistakes. My God.
All right, Mama.
I'm going to do some push-ups. I want to get
All right. Say hi to your wife for me. All right, bye-bye.
Political mistake.
Jerome Walcott, the man say you're a political mistake. Listen, oh my goodness, we have one caller here. Let me get this call in. Okay, caller, you're calling me on WhatsApp. Could you call us again, please? And let me accept it the correct way. Okay, thank you. So you can be heard. Thank you. No, man, but when he calls, you know, you get you get a laugh. You get a laugh. You know, when they at that age, they, you know, you can't tell them any kind of foolishness. You know.
No, they will speak their minds.
Good night, Marcia. How you doing?
Doing great. Can you hear? You hear, Miss McLean?
Very well, yes.
Yes, I can hear you. Good night, Barbados. Good night, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know you were trying from the other night, and you're in the diaspora. Yes, you're in the diaspora, Bajan in the diaspora. And what kind of work do you do? There's a reason I'm
an engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer.
You're a mechanical engineer. And so you're a mechanical engineer, and you wanted to call in to talk about what?
Earlier, I don't want to talk about the buses, you know, how the buses are being set up, etc. But the guy that spoken he pretty much explained a whole lot of what I was about to say. I was going to say, on the program.
This
So,
is former Senator Gill from Friday.
right, Mr. Gill,
Ah,
yes,
I see.
yes,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. And also, I don't want to really go back over and make it boring, So he touched on most of the things that was touched on. I have some friends that have some electric vehicles, and they are getting rid of them because to replace those batteries are very, very expensive. And when you go and spend all that money on a bus, and then down the road 3 or 4 years, you got to replace those batteries because you can't just replace one battery. You got to replace the whole pack. It's going to be expensive. So when the Barbados government get involved in this investing of these electric buses, I don't think they ever do a study on, the long-term cost effects, et cetera, maintenance. I was seeing a video there just now where the buses are being flooded out. I would advise anybody that in those buses to be be careful because water and electricity do not mix. And the battery packs of those buses sits underneath the bus. They may be sealed, et cetera. But if water get in there, it can cause some serious harm to people in those buses. So people be careful driving in those buses when it's raining. But Mr. Gill did a good job, so I'm not going to really go back over all of those things. Well, what I saw the video from Mr. Clark, and it is so disturbing and disappointed.
Which video is this? Which video are you talking about, sir?
Yes, the march that was yesterday. It was yesterday or the day before.
Oh, yeah, yes, the march. Oh,
yeah, okay. The march, from Mr. Clark. Me and my friends up here, we was watching it together, and we was like in total shock to see how these people went out of their way to do what they did to Mr. Clark. That is so embarrassing, degrading, and insulting.
So hang on a minute, because you're finished with what you had to say about the buses because you're saying that Mr. Gill was able to do it.
Yeah,
Let me ask you before you go on to Ronnie. I want to ask you a question about the buses. Okay. I wanted to know from you, do you know how long the buses that we have in Barbados, the type that we have, how long it will take to actually charge them? Because we had some discrepancy in the hours. So I don't know if as a mechanical engineer, if that's something that you know and you can. I've been trying to get that information from morning and I didn't get it.
In all honesty, one of those buses, I can give you a rough estimate. It would take at least a half a day to charge. For example, look at your phone or your watch that takes, a couple hours. Those buses go through a load. Load meaning is full of weight, and the batteries run down fast. So let's say from Oyster to Spikestown, a couple of trips, those buses' batteries are going to die on you. So to take them in and get them recharged back up to full speed, it can take a half a day, and all that's downtime right there. That's downtime. That's a waste of money again, investing in buses that they don't have chargers down in the Spikestown terminals, et cetera, to charge them up when they go down there.
So you tend to more agree with Mr. Gill.
I agree with him 100%. Yeah, that's why I don't want to go back over everything, because what he said was so true.
Was correct.
So,
okay.
Yeah, half a day at least would take to get one of those buses back at the full charge, And it's sad that the government will invest in all of those electric buses, but we are still dependent on fossil fuels to charge them, which is another oxymoron.
Yeah.
You would think that we'll have solar plants set up around Barbados or windmills or something, to charge them. So I don't know where this government is going, man. They just destroying our Barbados slowly, piece by piece, and Barbadians are supposed to be educated people, and look what that is.
But let me see. Pedro, you're saying, are you trying to say, Pedro Gemmet, are you saying something? Because we want to make sure that we're putting out the correct information on the show. So if you have some information, Pedro, please WhatsApp it to me. And don't just, because you're writing in codes, or 2 words at a time. I don't know what you're saying. So please be clear about what you're saying. We want to make sure that we are putting out what is the correct information as much as is possible on the show. Well, let me just ask Miss McLean, thank you for joining us tonight.
Great.
And if anything on transportation come up and you're not resting, you can jump right in. Thank you so much. You did
Alrighty. Take care. I'll be listening.
Yes. Yes, go ahead about Mr. Clark now. So guys, we're switching modes, and we're switching segment, and we are going to look at Ronnie. Ronnie had the receipts. The man had the receipts, you all. So we're looking at that. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, to make a long story short, we appear was asking what can we do to help put back some integrity into Barbados, because what they did to Mr. Clark is insulting. If they had a case, I would support them, but what we saw on that video, and then to start flipping sides and passing the buck, those people should be the one that not to be working today, to be honest. Barbados, from the government and all the other people, it seems like, doing these immoral things, and treating people like nothing is the norm, and it shouldn't be. Barbados was supposed to be a Christian nation. I remember back in the day, I know if you remember back in the day in Barbados, you can't even go to the cinema and watch a movie not having curse words, because the church is so censor everything. I know the morality is gone through the doors because they're doing so much things in the dark, which will come out in the light, like Mr. Clark, receipts you call it, is coming out. So what can we do as a people, not only in the diaspora, but as a people? Can we write the station letters, send emails, over this issue? Because it's sad. These people should not be doing what they're doing, and just living like, oh, well, that's the norm. It's not the norm. It's insulting and degrading to the gentleman. It can happen to anybody. So we need to find out what can we do. I know Mr. Clark can take it legally, but we also have the public, listening public to the radio station that we listen to every day, need to put some pressure on these people, to come out of these jobs that they're not, doing to their workers.
Yeah, well, so, it's a good question you're asking. You're asking after you listened, you watched the presentation by Mr. Clark yesterday, and you are are you in Canada, sir?
No, I'm Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts, yes, I keep forgetting. You're in Massachusetts, and you watch it, and you are asking, what can we do? Should we write the radio station? And so I'm throwing it out to all of us that's watching. Almost over 1,267 people watching. What can we do? What can we do, folks, concerning this situation? So we listened. I love your approach, by the way. You listened, and you knew from watching it, you and listening. You're an adult man. You know something is wrong in this all that occurred with him. The sequence of events, and you're asking, what can we do?
Yes, and the people that I sent the video to also was like, what? Is this for real or this is a movie? I said, this is for real. They were shocked themselves.
I did get some messages from people from the diaspora, and they are shocked at it and want to know what can we do. So basically, I know for myself, I can tell you, sir, what I have done so far when we go in our car is no longer on Starcom. We've now set our radio on a different station. That's a given. We're not going to be hypocrites on here. You understand? That gone. We're on a whole different station already when we go in the car. And it's not that we didn't love Starcom. We did. But we have changed. We have changed.
Is Starcom a government-run station or is it a
No,
public
it's
station?
privately owned.
Oh, okay, it's private. Oh, that I don't want to fully know. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna send them an email, and my other friends that saw the video is gonna send them an email, and I hope that the sponsors, who are in for this integrity, believe right and wrong, should consider putting their sponsorship behind these people that did what they did. Because according to what we saw from the video, I mean, I'm so shocked. I saw this morning around breakfast time, and I'm just like, can't believe how could these people do what they did. Where is the freedom of speech in Barbados? Is it gone? To Mr. Clark, a calypso for so many years. And where is the calypsonists in Barbados? I want you guys to come out and stick with Mr. Clark. Speak out. Stop being afraid, people. Stop being afraid, because we can't let he fight this fight by himself. All of us have to fight the fight to help bring back some integrity into Barbados.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for calling. First of all, thank you for watching it.
I watch you every day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We
I
appreciate
take you to work sometimes. I watch you in the office. I watch you I watch every day.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. We're here educating the people, facilitating the change that needs to happen in Barbados. That's what we do here on the Marcia Show.
Keep it up. Keep it up. You are a blessing. I thought you Barbados would be in the dark, to be honest. Some of my friends say that before Marcia, Barbados would be in the dark because there's a lot of people that know things but don't say nothing.
They don't want to say it. But you know what? Look at what happened with this transport board document. Somebody, somebody got it out. I don't think it's obviously it's not.
But they get it up to you. They get it up to you. I shouldn't get it up to anybody else. It won't be public known. That's why we said thank you, Mercy.
Yes, but thank you for the compliment, and I take that on behalf of the full team. As you saw, Miss McLean came on and did a brilliant presentation this evening.
Yes,
we have a strong team of people. Mr. Glenn Murray, who is getting back to he's not well. That is a minor operation and coming back on and so on. And Alwyn Bob and we have a great team of people.
I know. I keep it up.
Yes.
Keep it up,
thank you so much.
We love you, man. I'm serious. As I said, before you, Miss Marcia Weeks, and your show, Barbadians in the diaspora will be like, what's going on? What's going on? So keep it up.
Well, do you call brass tacks all the time? Somebody here is telling you.
Yes, I call brass tacks almost every day. They call me the country man. I'm the man of house.
But that is one thing. One thing that are you going to give up calling brass tacks?
You see, I want to make one more call because brass tacks censor people sometimes. You don't censor people. We got a freedom of speech, but brass tacks is like you can't say this, you can't say that. So I'm going to call them this week and express my feelings and see what they say, and after that, I'll go from there. But I can send them a letter too.
Okay. All right then, Noel, because we need to make strong stances. And somebody said to tell you that, from what Adrian Hines said to tell you that's what you really need to do, because he's saying that he has stopped his subscription. Where is the thing there for where is it? Adrian Hines, because he's a no nonsense person like me. I'm his neighbor. We both live in the same areas, pretty much. Yeah. So he says that he has canceled his Nation News because they own Nation News as well. It's a Trinidadian company, and they will and they will no longer contribute to Brass Tacks WhatsApp as well as stop listening to the show. And I think we have to make decisions, and everybody have to do that on their own. Those people that destroy Ronnie have to go. That's my push. I'm gonna make sure that happens. Well, I think go ahead, do what you need to do, but we've got to send them a message. I don't play. I can do that. Thank you, Miss Morris. Yes. Okay. God bless. Okay. God bless. Have a good night, people. Yes. Good night. Yes. Well, Dave, go ahead, Dave, and where we, Dave, we're gonna play the second after 30 minutes. We're ready.
about what would be on the festival, what would not be on the festival. That's a matter of public record. Every publication, every blog, every platform, including print. Fireworks was on all that time. Who did the NCF connect with to get the NCF CEO on fireworks? The program manager. Her assistant, I have every text. I have every text from Carol to me in 2024. Her assistant will make a request when the show was already scheduled. If you know, fireworks, it was tightly packed. I was hosting it in 2024 with Chrissy E. Without fail, every request was honored. Artists, tents, contributors, callers would often be inconvenienced, but they understood I needed to get the NCF on. I recognized as an artist, the change got to a point where everything seemed to be revolving around the NCF CEO. And the NCF was becoming the National Carol Festival. Take a note of the date, people. On the 28th of July, 2024, I posted on my private Ronnie Clark Facebook page, National Carol Festival 2025. That's the same clip that Dave Weeks created for the start of the finals night presentation for he announces National Carol Festival at the Richard Stark Amphitheatre on the night of Friday, August 1st, 2025, appearing in position number 6 for the contest Shining Stars. That is a matter of fact. There were a series of articles, most prominent on the Tanga stick of the nation. Carol featured in them. Not as the broadcaster, not as the MC, and let me just state, Carol Roberts is one of the finest broadcasters in the Caribbean. There's no question about that. And an erstwhile event planner, and has a passion for culture. She was featured because of the things she was saying and the statements she was making that were of interest to everybody who had a stake in the Crop of Festival. I received a call from Anthony Green. After Crop Over. It sounded intense. Ronnie, what are you doing? What are you posting? I'm getting all of these messages about what you're posting. I said, I'm posting as a Calypsonian in response to the things that are being said by the NCF CEO. I said, we have to meet. So we met. On September 17th, we had a discussion. I was informed it was not a disciplinary meeting. It was a discussion. He expressed his concern that the program manager of the company was posting negative comments about the NCF CEO. My response was, having been a Calypsonian since 2004, registered with the National Cultural Foundation to participate in an event since 2018 that Carol Roberts was responsible for. I responded authentically as a Calypsonian to the comments made by the NCF CEO. And I do not regret them and I do not apologize for them. I received a letter on October 7, 2024. My address, Ronald Clark, Apartment 3, Bagatelle, Terrace. Dear Mr. Clark, allegation of personal attack on Ms. Carol Roberts. Further to our discussion on September 17, 2024, where we discussed the subject matter, Starcom Network Inc., has launched an investigation into the allegation brought by Ms. Roberts. Ms. Roberts alleges that she was the target of a personal attack on social media by the program manager of Starcom Network, Ronald Clark. Ms. Roberts also shared via WhatsApp the insults made via your Facebook page. The purpose of the meeting is to allow you the opportunity to state your version of the matter and to give a statement. Starcom Network Inc. has contracted the services of X&S Consulting Inc. to conduct the investigation. Ms. Sandra Holder will be contacting you to set a time that is mutually convenient. This is not a disciplinary hearing. You are required to make all efforts to attend the meeting and to be cooperative. Your confidentiality in this matter is appreciated. Should you have any queries, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Investigation interview. Ronald Clark. On Monday, October 14, 2024.
Now, guys, you should hear the audience at that time, the crowd, the mumbling. He had to at one point ask the people to be quiet, quiet down so he can finish his presentation. And this for me, when I started, when Ronnie sent me the information, and he said, I want you and Dave to keep these things for me. And when I read it, I thought that there was an error in the letter and in the correspondence, because it said 2024. I wrote back to him and I said, but this says 2024. And it's when he said, no, Marcia, because it started then. And I'm so glad. I told Mr. Clark, I said, Ronnie, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you for standing in that square and telling the truth. If you notice what Mr. Clark did, he read the letters. He did not try to give his own analysis of it. He just read it straight. He was reading he had a whole folder. And he was so determined that folder did not shouldn't get wet. He had it in a gray plastic bag, just in case the rain came down. He was determined not to get that folder wet. And how many of you saw that there is a particular message that he had sent to us and to his luckily his daughter was there, because my phone was dying, but when he was ready to go on stage, his phone would not open up to the text, and he needed it. And he told me, Marcia, find the text in your phone, or go and get my daughter. I sent it to her. And look, she was right there. She got it in time, and and it was so good to see his daughters there, supporting him. That is beautiful. That brought the little tear to my eye, Ronnie. And those girls were there with their dad, with their placards and everything. And one of them had a placard up. I mean, a serious one there with somebody's name on the placard. I don't know if John can find it, but I was so proud of them. But back to this here. This is the game changer here. Well, one of them. This. Because this shows you where the genesis of the whole thing is. Based on what he read a letter that stated that Carol Roberts had, I'm just repeating the letter that he wrote, that he read. Okay, that Carol Roberts, according to that letter, complained because she thought the title of the song was a personal attack on her, because he wrote out the title of the song, and then some of the lyrics of the song. Go back and look at it. It's the lyrics of the song and the content of that man's song that was a personal attack. So when Miss Roberts at the end of the Kapova said, "Oh, it's no problem," no, really? So it's no longer personal attack? Can you imagine you are a public figure and you are going to go complain to a man's employer that you're personally attacked? Well, what it appears to me, this is just my opinion on what I heard. My opinion on it is that it appears to me as though somebody was that person's after his job. If I go and I complain to his employer gonna call me to meetings and all of this. What in that? You are a public figure. What in that in his comments and in that song, everything that man wrote on Facebook, including the title of the song, were made up the lyrics of the song. So you are telling us that it's not the song. How it can't be the song? It can't be the song, and it's the lyrics of the song and the title of the song. The only thing that wasn't there at the time was the melody. And you're going to tell me the man lost his job over that? The man was fired over that? Barbados is not a real place. And you know what was very professional of Ronnie, and I told him today, is that Ronnie had been speaking with us and so on. He never told us about this in this kind of detail, because he know I would hit the roof over it. She was personally attacked, according to what he read there. The thing is that the truth? That's what he read. Letter signed and everything. That letter is signed and on letterhead. So folks, anybody want to call in? This is a good time. You can call in. We're talking now about Ronnie having the receipts. Okay? Now, that was one of the things that struck out to me. Many things, really. And the separating of the program manager from the announcer. They did that when they wanted to. When it served their purpose. Right? Yeah. So, folks, the line is open. Only call WhatsApp, okay? We are only accepting WhatsApp calls, because those calls you can hear much better. The sound is better on those calls, right? Now, I was thinking today, I wonder what. And I asked the question already. Was there an increase in the advertising budget for Starcom? Because Starcom, based on the letter that Mr. Clark read, they talked about one of the reasons that they didn't play it was because of commercial considerations. Here's the thing, Was there an increase in commercial activity between the NCF or the Ministry of Culture and the NCF and Starcom? Was one thing done for the next? Was that done, what they did to Ronnie, was that done to ensure that the commercial activity would have been increased? I don't know. I'm asking a question. We don't have freedom of information, so we can't see. We can't see how much was budgeted and how much was, was actually spent. Oh, but we have a caller on the line. Good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Blessed good night to you, Marcia.
Good night, sir.
And to the lower oppositions.
Welcome.
Marcia,
go right ahead.
Yes, please. Now, my submission tonight is when the people were banned. The people were banned from accessing courthouses. The people were banned from the public accounts report. The people were banned from integrity legislation. The people were banned from any referendum on the republic. The people were banned from discussion on electric buses investment. The people were banned from investigations on COVID injuries. The people were banned from speaking out through the cybercrime bill. Now, there is a claim of freedom of speech in Barbados. But if there is more fear to speak because of victimization, then there is no freedom of speech. All who speak or sing truth are announcers in the chair and on the air. Banning one announcer is banning all announcers. This government will be banned by all the people. Concerning the electric buses will execute any chances of privatization. And I want to add this. Listen out for politicians coming out to give poor excuses for their silence. That's my thing for the night.
Yes, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, appreciate that. Thank you. Always food for thought. Thank you so much. Well, we have another clip to show you from the event. As Dave is setting up the other clip, it's a shorter clip, Dave. One of the things I noted, even when we got to Cheapside Market, near the post office, right? When we got there, the people came out of the market to see Ronnie and to listen to what was being said. And they were cheering him on. Because the people, they know what is right. They know when something is right and they know when something is wrong. You can't fool the people. You could tell the people knew. Some of them came out. I saw them leaving their stalls to come and listen. They couldn't come and join the march, but in solidarity. And by the time we left, you saw them at Cave Shepherd. You saw them at Bionic Man shop again. And by the time we were walking away from Cave Shepherd, I just had my hand up in a fist like this, walking. And I tell you, I had tears come to my eyes. I said, look at Barbadians. Look at Barbadian people. They are connecting. Right? They are connecting with what they were connecting what was going on. They were shaking Ronnie's hand. They in themselves, they knew. They weren't with us on the march, but they knew. You know, when you just they knew something is wrong. They're saying to themselves, no, but they did this man something wrong. So a wrong was done. Yes. And anybody has noticed how the people were responding? And while Dave is getting that other video to put up, I want to, there's something that was actually said to me from Mr. Clark, and I asked him permission to say it tonight. And everybody listen up. I want to say something that he didn't say, but that I asked him permission to say it. Right? And it is that Mr. Clark has reported to me that when he was in that meeting, when he went to one of the meetings there. Okay, just give me a moment. Dave, I'm going to resend it to you. If you haven't seen it, just hang on. Give me a second, guys. It's live TV, and we want to make sure that you get everything. So, Dave, if you check now, you will see it. It's 1 minute and 37 seconds. Right. Now, somebody saying that they were impressed. Everybody stop and share, like and share if you haven't done this yet. I'm going to share something brand new that you have not heard before. Mr. Clark reported to me that in the meeting, he was asked by whoever was running the meeting if he knew that Starcom had an issue with the Marcia Week show. I'm going to repeat that. And Starcom, if that's all you've got to do is to just issue a statement that you never said it. I'm asking you, did you say that? Starcom, did you tell Ronnie Clark? Did you tell Ronnie Clark that that Starcom has an issue? Ask him if he knew that Starcom had an issue with the Marcia Week show. Gonna ask the question again. Did you ask Ronnie Clark in that meeting, Ronnie, did you know that Starcom has an issue with the Marcia Week show? And if that is true, what is the issue that you have with the Marcia Week show? What is the issue that you have with the Marcia Week show Starcom network? Before this issue with Ronnie, because at that point, Ronnie had not even, listen, before Ronnie came on here, There are times when I would say, we talk about the brass tacks did this, and we show it on our show, etc. And there are times when we do speak about all of the media, including Starcom Network, that you are bought. And this is an example. So I wasn't telling lies on you all. That you bought. If you can take the man's freedom of speech from him because of commercial considerations, you are bought. So tell Barbados the issue that you have with the Marcia Week show. What is it? Your brass tacks program is in the day and we are at night. What is the problem? I would like to know that, Paul Messiah. Starcom, what is your problem? What is the issue? Tell Ronnie had to call me and ask me, Marcia, did you get any? Have you heard anything from anybody at Starcom? I said no. I remember when we just started out. I tell you, I've been on here. I tell you, David Ellis would message me. David Ellis messaged me and would give me pointers and tips and so on. In the early stages, I haven't heard him in a little bit. David Ellis called me to do a show coming to the end of the year to, basically celebrate the work that I've been doing. That would have been on the same Starcom. I couldn't go. I was very busy with the show and I told him I could not come on. I've been called for different brass tacks things before. I have never been. So I don't know if that is the issue that they have with Starcom. What could be the issue? What do you all think? What do you all think is the issue that Starcom is saying that they have with the Marcia Week show? What issue? And I don't understand. Adrian, let me read what you're saying here. TMWS has the potential to be a significant rival to brass tacks if it were to go live during the daytime with a similar format, but using social media. Somebody said to me, "Oh, if you go in the daytime, you will rival. You will beat out." But that anybody knows me, I'm not about that. What you see of me that is it. That is what it is. We're about education. You saw the education that you had tonight from Miss McLean with her slides and everything. When Rose Corbin comes on the show, Guy Murray, that's something we've decided to do, presentations. They and I said to them, when you come on, have your presentation, and I do the same. I always research and I come on the show. That's a big difference between the Marcia Week show and the brass tacks. You're going to get education on here. I have been educated tremendously. I feel like I've been in college the last 3 years. I now understand so much from Caswell Franklin, Maxine McLean, from everybody. I've learned so much. So we educate on the Marcia Week show. We mobilize and we motivate and we agitate. We go on the streets. So we don't mix us up. I don't know. You don't need to have no issue over here. Because you having an issue, if it is that you have an issue, that means nothing to us. You do what do you? You think anybody there's nobody running any commercial on here for me to tell somebody you can't come on here because of commercial considerations with two different people, two different groups, two different organizations. You are for profit. We're for the people. That's the difference. You are for profit. We don't make any, none of these presenters that come on here make money. Not one. I wrote a book, and my husband make sure you tell me, listen, when you get the copies in Barbados, give them away. We don't want nothing. Lest you all say, I come on here and I sell a book to live and thing. Okay? And whatever the online book money, we're putting it towards the people in to buy for the food the program, the feed program in Kenya. The school program, which some of us are still supporting that program. I don't, you know, listen, God is my source, because I don't want that to come off like I have everything. I'm not trying to tell you that I'm wealthy. I'm not. So I don't want you to get that impression. But I'm just saying that none of us that come on here expect to eat from the show. We do this out of the goodness of our heart and out of our duty for our country. Okay? And those of you who you are saying you think that, oh, this is going to be, this is a march with the, you know, we're making the whole thing political lies. You should have just been at the march. It was just about freedom of speech. That's it. And Ronnie Clark, that was it. And by the way, that is politics too, because yeah, it is. Because a lot of you don't even understand what politics is all about. Somebody says the Marcia Week show took away the limelight from brass tacks. Myself and others I know who were regular listeners stopped. It is not the same. Marcia Week show is real. It has substance because you get education over here. And they have been telling them all this time. People everywhere they see me, they say, Miss Weeks, I've learned, Mrs. Weeks, I've learned so much from the show. And it is true because I know I learned from. Did you see Miss McLean's presentation tonight? I didn't even know those articles that existed. I understood things better. I love when she brought in the history with Rod Trotman, and I learned that. Well, I miss Glenn Murray because we're always learning something from Glenn Murray. I'm reading your comments. Marcia, it is not that you are like that. It's not about doing it just to compete and outstrip brass tack. It's about meeting Bajans at the time that suits them to allow them to air their concerns. Okay, I understand that, but I don't know. I mean, people who know, I don't just do things. I wouldn't just go and do that like that. There has to be a great need, because in my mind, Adrian, I see that is already filling that need. You see what I'm saying? So I'm holding the night. You know, I'm holding the night, and I'm on this many nights a week because I think it's important, right? Somebody said they were never a listener to call-in programs, but I love this show. Because you're getting the education, you understand things, and you know that when I come and I sit in this chair, our Miss McLean did her presentation tonight. You think that anybody told her what to say? I didn't even know. I don't go and to ask her, send me your presentation before you show it. She tells me this is what, or she asks me what we're talking about tonight or tomorrow or whenever. Mr. Murray sends his things, not for me to tell him whether he can do it or not. Just so that we will have it, so we can put it up for him. That we have that kind of relation. When Rose come with her stuff, come on, guys. People research before they come on the show. Yeah, I've never received a cent from Mr. Thorne or the DLP for the show. Never. And I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it because it is too important. Integrity is so important. Our lady that does the flags, does the cards, the placards. She knows. I told her, listen, this is an issue that we're dealing with, freedom of speech, and we're dealing with Ronnie Clark. That's it. Remove all other placards. My husband will tell you, Friday, it was Friday, Dave. I can't remember when I went up there and I checked the placards. I checked every one of those placards. Just in case something got mixed up in there. Because I know CG is going to do that. Because she understood the assignment. But I went and I checked them though. When we went to put them in the car, I made sure none of the others were picked up. Because it's about integrity. And if we come and we tell you something that is not true, and I know it's not true, I know I'm going to come back and tell you that, you know what? Last night we said something on the show. I've done it. And somebody talked to me about they were talking about the charging, and I tried today to get it, and I will continue until I feel satisfied that I've done enough so that we don't have the wrong information going out. Yeah. So folks, I know they're going to come. I told you this. We're going to go back to Ronnie clip. We go over later tonight. I told you this, that this is revealing something to you. From the highest place in this land, they are against this show. Media houses are against this show. They have an issue with the show. And if they did not say that, please put it out in the open and say it. Media houses having an issue with this show. The Honorable Jerome Walcott said that they have an issue with this show. Do you understand what that means, Barbados? This show stands for your voice. This is your voice. They have an issue with your voice. They want to shut you down. And I know if it wasn't for the prayers, every time they set a trap, we came out of it. You remember? Every time. The people went out, take away my whole internet. Gone. The company has no record of me having an internet in Barbados. Take away my whole internet. But we are still here. Folks, we're not giving up. But let's play this last clip here. And throughout the week, we're going to be playing a little bit of Ronnie. We're not letting this go. So we're doing these two tonight, and we're going to keep going. Go ahead, Dave. It's muted. It's muted, Dave. It's muted. You have to unmute. Oh, there's something is happening there. Okay, he's trying to get it. Well, as it said that the matter was not actually based on what Ronnie presented. Would you believe that this matter was not brought to the board? Isn't that interesting? Go ahead, Dave.
I sincerely hope in my heart that you did not know why I shared today. I hope in my heart, sir, as unfortunate as it may be, that you heard what I shared today in detail for the first time. Because I see nowhere a man of your standing academic and legal excellence, and recognize professionalism and presence across numerous boards and institutions in this country. Would validate such a process and such a decision by the General Manager of Starcom Network, by the Group CEO of Nation Publishing, and by the Human Resources Manager with responsibility for Starcom Network. It is clear, as my attorney prepares to take my position as far as it needs to go, that would include the Caribbean Court of Justice.
Folks, and you know that's the thing. How much did the chairman of the board know about this? That is the big question. You're saying that they among themselves, the same people who call him to a meeting, they were the same persons who basically tried, if you want to say tried the case, that they made themselves, you know, this whole thing, the transparency is really lacking here. And I'm reading the messages that are also coming in on WhatsApp. People are just supporting Mr. Clark. Just supporting Mr. Clark. The board, according to what Mr. Clark said, the board did not hear his case. That task for determining the composition of the hearing was assigned to the HR manager. So are we to assume that the HR manager chose herself as the sole commissioner to hear Mr. Clark's matter? All by herself? The question is, does that follow protocol? And I'm reading from the Bajan Reporter. This is a Bajan Reporter. I'm reading directly from his channel. And he was there. A lot of those from social media were there as well. And a lot of people, they're just trying to figure out, you know, wow. If they could do it to Ronnie, they could do it to me. Wow. The man, somebody said the man who he's talking about is the chairman of the board. I am still getting a lot of flooding. I mean, this is a very serious thing, Dave, that's going on. I'm still getting a lot of pictures of flooding. Are people okay up there? A lot of flooding pictures are coming in, folks. Charles Row Bridge, St. Lucie as well. Now, tomorrow night, we're going to continue with, because we have to deal with the transport board. We have to deal with the flooding tonight in St. Peter. But we're asking for some, based on what we're hearing, some whistleblowers from the in the NCF. Some whistleblowers saying that the public needs to ask for an investigation into the financial affairs of the NCF. I have 2 pages of it here. I haven't put it in the computer yet. 2 pages of it. Irregularities. Is it true that there are financial irregularities at the NCF? I hear that at the NCF something is stink. Something is stink at the NCF. And look at the time I'm bringing that. So tomorrow, that's what we're going to talk about. Some stinking fish is at the NCF. The people inside the NCF are getting tired of it. Are there people in the NCF that have formed their own companies and are benefiting from contracts from the same NCF? NCF, 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 NCF. What happened to the Sports and Art Fund? Who are the bands that are being hired? Are you hiring the same band? What about the events coordinating companies? Why is it that some people can be paid? Some people are being paid. There are people who have the Curry Festa have not been paid yet, you know. There's some people from Cupover, they haven't been paid yet. But then there's some people, they're paid for every event. And they're used all the time. I got the names right here. The NCF, is it true that you now have one of the largest budgets, sitting over one of the largest budgets of any government agency? When we are finished, we are going to write a letter to the NCF, to the Ministry of Culture. We need a thorough financial audit of the taxpayers' money. I heard that even a sponsor was getting upset. And you know what I tell the sponsor? Well, if you, this is what I heard, that if you don't like what's happening, it's okay. We don't need your money. The government has enough. Hey. You see, because of what happened to Ronnie, I sit down at my desk here. I tell you, I don't go nowhere. I don't really go anywhere, you know. I sat at my desk here, and just before I came on, somebody called me and given me, and I write down 2 pages of notes. Last week, another whistleblower reached out to us. And I wish some documents could just blow off the truck so I could actually call names. Can we get some documents that fly out of the NCF, please? We need some documents of people. We don't have a Freedom of Information Act. We don't have that law, and they know why. The public needs to know. They were ready to launch an investigation into Ronnie because of personal attack. Well, you attacking the taxpayers. We need a public investigation of the money. The CEO, you need to give an account of the money. Are there people in your organization that have formed companies and given themselves contracts? Are there particular bands that they are hired all the time and sent all over, in and outside of Barbados? I will go into this a little more tomorrow. The people tell me they're calling on Ralph Thorne. They're calling on Ralph Thorne to ask for an investigation. I got names here, people, and I got the name of one of the company. I just need to see an official document. I can't call these names. The sponsor, I get the name of the sponsor, everything here. High level of dishonesty is being alleged that is happening up there. NCF is true. What is going on here? Huh? I got 2 pages. Well, a page enough. Oh boy. That's why they got rid of John King. Help me, Lord. Cultural Arts Fund. How is that being used? How is the money? How much money left in there? Where is the accounting? How much money left in the Cultural Arts Fund? Listen to me, folks. It's taxpayer money here. Somebody let a people, Mr. Franklin always say, a document fall off a truck. We need a document to fall off of a truck concerning the NCF, please. And I know we're going to get it. Prayer warriors pray. Yes, Dave, and then go ahead. We're going over. Dave, play, and then we play a song and we close. Go ahead, Dave. Is this today, though? Okay, we're being told that this is today in St. Lucie. Anybody know? Oh, Father, we pray for the people in St. Lucie tonight. Okay, yes. Okay, I got you. I saw that, Dave. Oh my God. No. We can't even stand a drizzle. We can't even stand a drizzle. All right, well, folks, this is where we say good night and say a prayer, please, for everybody. Say a prayer for everyone, okay? This is serious. I mean, we can't even take a drizzle, guys. Yeah, I know there was an issue where John King did not want her to have that position. John King did not want her to have that position. We're going to deal with this full head on. And let me tell you, all of it going to reveal All of it will be revealed. Huh? Somebody said a house gone in the water? Oh no, yes, and that means more brown water for the people of St. Lucie. This is a serious situation. I need to go down there with my camera tomorrow. Michelle, where you at? Come for me, Michelle. We need to go down to St. Lucie and St. Peter. We'll talk to the people tomorrow and see how they're doing. Oh my God, this is serious. Okay, folks, we will sign off tonight. What a night. We're going to continue to show you some clips of the march tomorrow. Those who aren't ready today, we're going to show you some clips of the march tomorrow. Okay? God bless you. And Dave, over to you. Any songs tonight, Dave, for us before we go? Okay. Good night, folks.
Ayo, Lady Justice from Bangkok, fresh from Ronnie. So the man went to the rally, and the people asking what he said. He ain't just talk, he bring the whole folder. Listen to me, he bring the receipts. The man stand up, he start from the start. How the NCF complain and break the people heart. The river write a letter, your judgment is poor. They try to shut you up, they try to lock the door, but the man just smile. He say, watch this, my friend. He open up the folder and show them the trend. Ronnie bring the receipts, the folder don't lie. Ronnie bring the receipts, the folder don't lie. The river said for 4 months, but that is a lie. The folder don't lie. It open the eyes. He showed them a letter from November 20, a big long warning with threats aplenty. But he got your moment. The real contradiction is a letter 3 days later. A pure fiction. A special award for work above and beyond. From the same manager who had the warning button. Ronnie bring the receipts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Folder don't lie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ronnie bring the receipts. Folder don't lie. Folder don't lie. The river said for 4 months, but that is a lie. The folder don't lie. They open the eyes. The river tell the papers it ain't about this song, but the folder prove that they was wrong. They ban it, they block it, they give him a bad appraisal. Then they fire the man. Oh, what a betrayal. He read every word, he showed the whole plan. The folder prove this song was the reason, man. Ronnie bring the receipts. The folder don't lie. Ronnie bring the receipts. Folder don't lie. Folder don't lie. The river said for 4 months, but that is a lie. The folder don't lie. They open the eye. The folder don't lie. The folder don't lie. Ronnie bring the receipts. The folder don't lie. He open the eyes. The folder don't lie. Lady Justice, me backpack for Port of Spain. The CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice waiting. Yo, yeah! Hold tight, Ronnie. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight.